Greetings, everyone, and happy day after Thanksgiving if you celebrate that holiday. So glad to have you here. This is the December announcements, the last announcements of 2022. And you've also got, depending on when you're watching this, just a few more hours to place your pre orders for everything that we talked about in November. Today is the last day. So go ahead and get those orders into your dealer so you're not disappointed next year at this time. We're going to talk about December announcements. Now, this is a pre-recorded broadcast, so I won't be doing any shout-outs and I won't be doing any Q&A sessions, but if you do like to interact, be sure to join us every Tuesday at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time for Train Tuesday, where we go in depth into all of the things that we're going to talk about today and answer your questions live. So let's get started. We're going to start our journey this month, and we've got a lot to talk about today. We're going to start our journey this month talking about Genesis. Now, there's going to be something for everybody in this series of releases. So if you're an N-Scale guy, stick around. I've got a lot of N-Scale to show you guys. HO guys, of course, we've got a lot to talk about today. We're going to start with the F89F trailer on flat cars. Now, we're offering these again in the roads that you see here. Each one of these will be offered in two different road numbers per flat car. So we have Kansas City Southern, Southern Pacific, the trailer train in the original 1960s brown, as well as the later 1980s TTX yellow. Now, we're also adding to that, not only are we just going to offer you bare tables, but we're going to offer you the F89F trailer on flat car with the 45-foot Fruhoff Z-Van trailer, as you see here. Now, these are being offered in one road number each. Same roads as above. We've got Kansas City Southern, Southern Pacific, the trailer train, and the later trailer train with appropriate 45-foot trailers. Now, just the bare tables alone, they're going to be $49.99. These are Genesis quality, so that means they're going to have cut levers, air hoses, all of the brake detail that you would expect with a Genesis model. And the frames on these are die-cast metal, so obviously there's not a lot here for material, so the base of the model is made out of die-cast metal. That way, they are appropriately weighted. So coming up next in the HO scale Genesis line is the ACF 4600 covered hoppers. Now, these are always popular. We seem to pre-order and sell out of these really quickly. We wanted to offer another run. We wanted to give you a little bit of variation as well. We're starting with the Akron, Canton, and Youngstown cars. Two different road numbers available. This is based on a 1960s car. Heading up to the northeast, we've got Vermont Rail in its 1978 era paint scheme. For you guys out west, we're offering the Santa Fe and the Union Pacific. A little bit different here. We're offering these as two different singles as well as a 3-pack. Now, of course, as you can see here, all the road numbers are different. There's no two alike, and they are also different from previous runs. We've got the Santa Fe painted and lettered for the 1990s, while the Union Pacific is painted and lettered for the 2000s plus. And then a couple of old favorites, both the Sioux line for its 1973 iconic paint scheme, the Color Mark paint scheme, as well as the Western Pacific in a 1966 on-up paint scheme. Both of these will be offered as two singles as well as three-pack. Now, individually, these will retail for $64.99. If you go for the 3-pack, there's some savings there at $164.99. Now, again, these are retail prices, so you need to talk to your dealer to see what your price is going to be. This is the absolute retail price, so don't be shocked when you see the prices on these. Your dealer is going to give you a much better price. Now we're going to switch gears. We're going to go to our Athearn line now. Now with the Athearn line, we're going to be offering some different locomotives for you this month. We're going to start with the SW1500. Now, this was extremely popular the last time we ran this about a year ago. We had a lot of requests for some different roads. We're going to go into detail on these locomotives in a future Train Tuesday, but for now, here's the cliff notes. We're offering the Rock Island in its early 1970s paint scheme of the maroon and yellow. We're offering that in 3 different road numbers, and it's available with standard DC, or you can upgrade and get the DCC with sound featuring the Soundtraxx Econami decoder. Union Pacific fans, you were clamoring for these, and so we went ahead and did the late 1990s version. This is still the Red Sill era. We're offering this in 3 different road numbers, and again, available with DCC and sound or standard DC. Now, you knew a Southern Pacific was going to be in the mix, and we're doing something a little bit different here. We're offering 2 different versions. The standard 1970s Southern Pacific paint scheme, we're offering that in 3 different road numbers. And then the really cool, never happened, unfortunately, depending on which side of history you debate this, but the SPSF paint scheme, experimental paint scheme. We're offering this as a 1986 paint scheme. If you've seen our Facebook page, you've already probably seen a picture of the prototype. So yes, it did exist. The only one we're offering in this run. We get a lot of requests for the Southern Railway. And so we wanted to offer the Southern Railway version of the SW1500 to you. We're offering it with 3 different road numbers. This is appropriate for 1980s era. And we're still not done. There's a lot of locomotives this month. So we're going to offer the Minneapolis, Northfield, and Southern. Now, believe it or not, we got a lot of requests for this road. So there seems to be some folks out there that are modeling this road. This is going to be based on a 1970s paint scheme, really sharp paint scheme. We're offering 2 different road numbers with this short line. And then another line that continues to get a lot of requests in our Athearn product suggestion email, the Frisco. Now, this really cool Mandarin paint scheme, 1970s era, is going to have 3 different road numbers for it. Now, if you get the DCC model, the cab Stratolite beacon will actually function. So you guys that are running DCC get a little bit of added feature value in the lighting department. Now, we're going to go over the features of this locomotive in an upcoming Train Tuesday. Right now, we're going to go on to our next locomotive. And another one that we get a lot of requests for, happy to bring this out for you guys in December, that is the Athearn EMD SD45T-2 locomotive. Now, coming up first is an early 2000s Union Pacific, so it's still a Red Sill. We're offering this in 2 different road numbers, and like the SW1500, we're offering it with both DC and DCC with sound. Again, we're going to put the Soundtraxx Econami decoder in there. So you have 2 choices. Of course, we have to offer the Southern Pacific. That would be kind of crazy if we didn't. So we're offering the Southern Pacific. 3 different road numbers in this specific paint scheme. This is based on a 1974 paint scheme. Now, you guys that are modeling later Southern Pacific, have no fear. We are doing the speed lettering in this run as well. This is the 1990s speed lettering Southern Pacific. So for you guys that are modeling 1990s just before the UP takeover, here you are. You've got 3 different road numbers to choose from. And Canadian National. Some of those did find their ways up there. Offering these in 3 different road numbers in their 2000s era paint scheme. as well as cotton belt. Now the cotton belt ones are really cool because these are part of the Prime for Grime. You can see this one's got a little bit faded out. That's exactly what we're trying to go for here. This is a well worked yet serviced unit. This is based on a 1980s era and 3 different road numbers, and they will feature Prime for Grime. Another one that we got a lot of requests for in the Athearn product suggestion email, the Bessemer and Lake Erie. We're offering this locomotive and 3 different road numbers as it appeared in the 2000s. Now keep in mind, Prime for Grime locomotives are a slightly additional cost, but if you go for the locomotives without sound and DCC, they're going to retail for $169.99. If they're Prime for Grime, they're going to be $179.99. If you go ahead and get the decoder, the Economy version, you're going to get be able to find those for $239. If you go with the Prime for Grime, it's going to be slightly higher at $249. Again, contact your dealer for the actual price. Now, you know, we get a lot of requests, and I see it a lot on Facebook. When are you going to offer an undecorated? I've said many times before that the undecorated doesn't usually sell well. However, in this case, we wanted to extend this to the guys that do like to paint their own locomotives. And here you are. We're offering the undecorated SD45T-2 in both DC and DCC with sound. Now, everything that we're talking about today, you have until December 30th to place pre-orders with your dealer. So make it easy on yourself. Go ahead and go to your dealer after watching this and pre-order anything that you saw in the November issue, and then go ahead and add to it with the December. Get it all done in one day. Once again, we will go through the specs and some of the updates that we've done on these in an upcoming Train Tuesday. So here's another one that we haven't offered in a while. We wanted to offer it to you once again. That's the Ford C tractor with trailer. These are beverage trailers predominantly. However, they've been used for other things as well. We're going to be doing a few of these different tractors with trailers. First one is a fire and rescue. Pretty generic, so that way you can put it on your layout if you're modeling the 1960s all the way to the 1990s. This would be appropriate. There's also a city fire department hazardous material squad. Again, pretty generic. That way you can add to it as you're liking or just use it as is for your layout. 2 more that we're offering. We've got JoJo chocolate flavored milk, Old Colony root beer, and a fan favorite is the Penguin Ginger Ale and Black Horse Ale. These are great trucks that you can put on your layout, your modules. Definitely will grab some attention and perfect for, like I said, any type of module layout or home layout. We're going to offer the 45-foot Fruhoff Z van trailers separately. That way you can add them to your existing fleet of F89F flat cars, or add them to the additional pre-order that you would like to place before the 30th of December. Now we're offering all of the ones that you see here. These are going to be in 2 different road numbers. Coming up quick is the Burlington Northern 1980s, 2 different road numbers. 1970s for the Clipper Express. We've got a Transamerica that was seen all over the United States and Canada in the 1990s, and the Extra Lease, which is another 1980s. So if you're modeling the 1970s into the 90s, one of these trailers would be perfect for your layout. We wanted to offer our 53-foot CIMC containers once again. We're offering these in a pack of, I believe it looks like we've got 6 per pack. Now the reason why we're doing that is because it's usually easier for you to fill up your intermodal train that way. So yes, indeed, these are 6 packs. You get a cut, a break in pricing rather at $89.99 retail. We're offering the STG Logistics in 2 different 6-packs. Yellow Freight in 2 different 6-packs. Schneider Excel, COFC Logistics, and EMP. All right. Yes, we have a Roundhouse offering this month. We haven't done a Roundhouse in a little bit, but we wanted to offer some Roundhouse models for you guys. Now, these are going to be 3-packs. These are the 40-foot 4-bay offset hoppers. We're offering the Western Maryland as it appeared in 1959, Missouri Pacific, going back to the steam era in 1939, Peabody, or Peabody, depending on what part of the country you're in, 1980s, Rio Grande, 1955, and the Lehigh Valley, 1963, followed by the Chesapeake and Ohio, 1955. Now, again, these are going to be in a 3-pack, so it's going to be real easy for you to make a nice Coltrane with these guys. $101.99 retail for the 3-pack. Again, contact your dealer for the ultimate price. Going back to Athearn, actually, I take that back. Going back to Genesis. You know, we forget sometimes that we are now offering N-scale Genesis models, and this is no different. We're going to be offering the F89F TOFC cars in N-scale now in the Genesis line. These are recently upgraded. They've been newly tooled. They're going to have things such as cut levers, more detail to them. We're offering the Kansas City Southern in 2 different road numbers for the 1990s. Southern Pacific, 2 different road numbers in the 1980s. Trailer Train in its original 1960s brown, 2 different road numbers. And of course, the Trailer Train in the 1980s TTX yellow, 2 different road numbers. Now, following up with that, we've got some great news for you N-scale guys. We've got some new stuff in the N-scale line that we haven't offered before. We're going to touch on it right here, and then we'll talk about it in detail here in a second. These set of F89F TOFC flat cars are going to include the brand new Athearn 45-foot Fruehauf Z-Van trailers. These are brand new trailers. We haven't offered them before. They're going to have some features that their older cousins don't have. We're going to offer these cars as a set. We've got the Kansas City Southern, the Southern Pacific, Trailer Train 1960s era with the 1970s Clipper 45-foot, and the 1980s complete with the Burlington Northern 45-foot trailer. Now, individual cars are $43.99 retail. With the trailer, you're looking at $69.99, a really good value. Again, contact your dealer for the ultimate price because these are based on retail. All right, staying with the theme of N-scale, and like I said, guys, there's a lot of N-scale this month. So let's get through what we've got going on in N-scale. So we're going to be offering the ACF 4600 covered hoppers once again. We're going to be mimicking the Genesis HO line as far as names. These should be extremely popular with you guys. We've got the Akron, Canton, and Youngstown at the beginning, 2 different road numbers based on a 1960s paint scheme. Going to the Northeast, once again, we've got Vermont Rail, 2 different road numbers based on a 1978 paint scheme. Much like we've done with the HO scale, the Santa Fe, the Union Pacific, the Sioux Line, and the Western Pacific are available as 2 different singles, or you can go ahead and get the 3-pack. Now, the Santa Fe is lettered and painted for a 1990s model, while the Union Pacific is set in the 2000s. The Sioux Line with their iconic color mark paint scheme. This is a 1973 paint scheme, could be seen throughout the 70s, in some cases all the way into the 90s, albeit quite weathered. Western Pacific comes in last with a 1966 paint scheme. And again, these 4 roads here will be available as 2 singles or a 3-pack. The N scale cars are going to go for $39.99 retail individually. If you go for the 3-pack, you're looking at $99.99. And we are still not done with N scale. Now, this is the exciting news for this month for you N scale guys. Brand new tooling, first time offered in N scale. These are going to be phenomenal models to add to your layout. So if you're an N scale guy that's modeling the 1970s into the early 1990s, you're definitely going to want to go ahead and order some of these. And again, these are great for your flat cars. They're great for your layout. They can be parked in your industrial park. They can be put with semis on your layout. They're just a great all-around, very popular trailer. Now, the HO guys have had the opportunity to enjoy these for quite a while. N scale guys spoke up on our Athearn product suggestion email. We listened, and now we're presenting them here for you today. We're going to start by offering a 1980s Burlington Northern van, 2 different road numbers for this one. 1970s fans, we've got the Clipper Express, also available, and 2 different road numbers. For you guys modeling the 1990s, we've got the Transamerica, 2 different road numbers. And back to the 1980s, we've got Extra Lease, again, available in 2 different road numbers. Now, these are going to be $31.99. Keep in mind that is retail. So talk to your dealer and set up your pre-orders for these now. More N scale for you guys. We wanted to offer the 53-foot CIMC containers as well. As you can see here, we're offering these in a 6-pack too. We know that N scale guys get the opportunity to run some really nice long trains, and this is the easiest way to fill up those stack trains is with our 6-pack. We're offering these following roads in 2 different 6-packs, all with individually numbered containers, all different from the other ones. So these are there's no duplicates in these packs. We're starting off with the STG Logistics, followed by Yellow Freight, Schneider, of course, Excel, and coming up last, we've got the COFC Logistics, as well as the EMP. So there you have it. We've got a lot of HO scale this month. We've got a lot of N scale this month. There's just a lot going on at Athearn. So stay tuned for some future broadcasts where we will talk about each one of these in detail. Now, Train Tuesday happens every Tuesday at 7:00 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we take one of the subjects or 2 of the subjects, or sometimes even more, and we address them in depth. We're going to be talking about everything that you saw here in the next coming weeks. So if you haven't done so far, go ahead and like us on Facebook. You can also, while you're seeing this on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe, hit the bell. That way you get notifications every time a new video drops. And we're usually dropping at least 1 video a week. So that will be your way to keep track of everything that's going on at Athearn. I hope everyone that celebrates Thanksgiving had a great day yesterday with friends and family. I will be with you again on Tuesday, again, 7:00 p.m. Central Standard Time. Until then, hey, you know what? Enjoy this weekend. It's a great weekend to get into the workshop, work on those models, work on your layout, talk to your dealer about both November and December announcements. And until I see you again next Tuesday, I wish you all to be happy, be healthy, do some good modeling, and above all,